Yes,
Yeah, bro.
that truth is keeping time with Atom's space. Okay.
Okay. So shall I begin?
Yeah.
Yes, Dhruv, you can
All right.
begin.
So
Yes, Dhruv.
hi, my name is Guru. So mankind, the human race, Homo sapiens, or whatever we are. Let us talk about humans and go back in time while we do that. Suppose around 60,000 years, give or take a few years. Our kind was quite primitive in that era. Compared to other species, we didn't have any unique physical attributes that would help with survival. But somehow our species was graced with superior intellect. We learned to communicate with each other. We learned how to take advantage of our environments. We invented tools. Shifting through the years, our kind has come a long way. And while our species have not really evolved physically, our culture and our planet definitely have. So I implore you all to think about which invention has rapidly changed the path of mankind and brought us to where we are now. Is it fire? I mean, it provided us warmth, allowed us to cook, acted as a weapon against predators, and allowed us to smell it, among other things. Or is it ships, which actually facilitated transportation across the planet? Is it the light bulb? Or is it the computer? Well, I would say that is actually rather close, but I believe the answer is actually more fundamental than that. So, what is more fundamental than a computer, you might ask? Why it is a transistor? How, you might ask? Well, it all begins with telephone. This invention had rocked the world, being able to talk to people over long distances. Well, except the distances weren't really that long. See, signals can only travel so far before they fade into nothingness in a process known as attenuation. So in the early 1900s, a solution came in the form of the vacuum tube amplifier. So if you want to visualize what a vacuum tube amplifier looks like, just imagine an incandescent light bulb, the old sort of light bulbs that you used to have with the filaments inside. So this invention, the vacuum tube amplifier, helped facilitate the rollout of transcontinental communication, where you could talk to and communicate with people across the coast. But while it worked, these vacuum tubes used a lot of power, gave off a lot of heat, and were not very reliable. To give you guys some interesting facts, actually, the first computer ever made, ENIAC, in 1946, included 18,000 vacuum tubes, spanned an entire room, weighed more than 30 tons, and took 30 minutes to make a calculation that your phone does in no time for Angry Birds. While that is a dead game, I know, but coming back to ENIAC consumed 200 kilowatts of power, and its vacuum tubes failed regularly and had to be replaced. So we needed an alternative. This issue had already been foreseen by scientists in that time period, and scientists want to create something solid state, something that did not require vacuums or filaments or moving parts. So semiconductors and crystals were quite new at that time, and not much was known about their functioning, but they seemed very promising. So scientists started experimenting with semiconductors, and this led to the development of the transistor, a novel device that, in comparison to vacuum tube amplifiers, was more reliable, more power efficient, and way smaller. If I remember correctly, during the announcement by Texas Instruments when they created the first transistors, they truly shocked the community by carrying transistors within their pockets. So, but the initial transistor had a problem. The initial transistor was standalone, as in components had to be soldered to it directly. So a new novel idea cropped up. What if we could make all of the components which had to be soldered? What if instead of soldering them tediously together and making sure that the circuit is complete, what if we could make all of these components from the same block of material? In the next few years, we did so successfully with what we now call integrated circuits. This sparked a whole technological revolution, from the invention of the pocket calculator to going to the moon to personal computing to modern day smartphones. Transistors have come a long way. In your computer processors, we've gone from having a few thousand transistors in the 1960s to billions of transistors in 2020, all in the palm of your hand. In fact, if you look around you right now, even within the room which you're in right now, all of the electronic devices you see, from your laptop to your phone to your TV to even your calculator, contain these minuscule transistors. Advancements such as the internet could not have happened without a transistor. And hence we have made more leaps and bounds and have become more connected than ever before due to the transistor. The invention of the transistor has, in my opinion, contributed way more to mankind in the 60 years since its inception than any other invention. Going into the future, is it going to remain the most significant invention? Well, I can't really comment on that. But I am incredibly excited to see and experience the latest that mankind has to offer. Thank you.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
5 minutes 30 seconds.
5 minutes 30 seconds. Okay. Dhruv, what is the title for your speech? Is there a title?
I believe I was gonna go with a very small invention that had a very large effect on mankind, but I never really focused on. I never really finalized the topic.
Oi, Dhruv.
Yes, ma'am.
That was a very long title. Give me a three word title for your speech. That's why I'm asking you. That is the reason why I'm
The invention that changed mankind.
The invention?
That changed mankind.
Anybody has anything to say? Thank you, Dhruv, first of all, for speaking very well. Is there any question you have for me? Is there anything that you want to say?
No, ma'am, I don't have any questions. Does anyone else have any questions for me? Any feedback?
Yeah.
If I had to give some feedback about myself, I understand I wasn't really looking at the camera a lot. It might seem like I was looking above, and that's because my camera is below the screen. So
See, sorry to interrupt you. Don't forget what you have to say, but I'm growing older, so I'll get. What you have to do, remember, is this is a virtual classroom, so sometimes these things can be done away with. Don't worry, but you do your bit. You do your bit. I will have all the kindness in the world to do, avoid looking at those small things. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah, continue.
yeah, no, I was just talking about some of the visually what you might find distracting that I might be looking above, and not exactly within the camera, but apart from that, that's about it.
So you have spoken earlier elsewhere.
Not exactly. I have had some experience speaking, and I tend to speak a lot with people, but no like professional or like a proper thing for. I have participated in MUNs and
Look into the camera. Into the
yeah,
camera.
so I have participated in MUNs and other such events before, but I haven't formally done public speaking.
Okay. Nice. Good. No, you sound very prepared.
No, ma'am, I prepared last night.
Don't tell me that. Oh,
Okay.
God. Don't tell me that. You should never reveal such secrets. Okay. Is there anybody who has anything to say? Any comment you want to make? Anything that you have seen or heard? Anyone?
Ma'am,